Good morning, students. Our chapter number 3, Fiber to Fabric, is going on. In the last period, we learn about from which animals we are getting wool, and in that we learn we get wool from sheep, camel, and goat. Now we are aware about that all the three animals are herbivores and depend upon the plant product animal. And we already learned that how rearing and breeding of sheep is going on in a whole country, in a whole part of country in India. Now we will see the next part, processing fibers into wool. The wool, which is used in knitting sweaters or for weaving shawls, is the finished product of long process. Is the finished product of a long process which involves the following steps. Now we are aware about that the wool at the last from the fibers when it converted into the wool is used for knitting sweaters and weaving shawls. It is a final product. It is a final product. It is a finished product of a long process. And which process will be there, and for that how many steps will be there, that steps here mentioned. First one, step 1, the fleece of sheep along with the thin layer of skin is removed from its body, and this process is called shearing. The fleece means the hairs of the sheep along with their thin layer of the skin is removed from its body, and this process is called as a shearing. Here in a simple language we can call as a cutting process. The hair will be cut from the sheep's body. It is called as a shearing process. And machines similar to those used by barbers are used to shave off hair, and the barbers, they are using different kind of machines also for the shave of the hair. Then usually hairs are removed during the hot weather. These hairs of the sheep are removed during the hot weather during the summer season, which enables sheep to survive without their protecting coat of hair. Now here see the line. This enables sheep to survive without their protecting coat of hair. Why here mentioned protective coat of hair? Because in winter season too much cold will be there, cold situation will be there. That time these hairs trap the hairs and protect them, give them warm. They protect them and give them warm, and they are protect themselves from the cold situation. And when you remove the, that's why it is called as a protective coat of hair. And when you remove these hairs in the winter season, what happen? They cannot survive in the winter season because of the cold situation. Woolen fibers are then processed to obtain woolen yarn. These woolen fibers are processed to obtain the woolen yarn. धागे तयार करण्यासाठी वापरले जातात. Shearing does not hurt. Shearing does not hurt the sheep, just as it does not hurt when you get haircut or your father shave his beard. Shearing, the cutting process, it does not hurt to the sheep. In which way? Our hair cutting will be there, that time we cannot get hurt. When our father, he shaves, that time also he did not get hurt. Why? What is the reason behind that? Here the uppermost layer of our skin is dead, and also the hair of the sheep grow again just as your hair does. Now when our haircut will be done after 1 month, after 1.5 month, again same length of hair will be observed. Again it will be grows, again hair will be grows on the sheep body. Same situation will be there. When cutting of the hair will be done in the summer season, again after some days these hairs will be grown up on the body. Now the next process is Step second, the sheared skin with hair is thoroughly washed in tanks to remove grease, dust and dirt, and this is called scouring. And nowadays scouring is done by machines. Now scouring process, we are aware about that the sheep, they are wandering here and there for grass and other products, and in the air many more dust particles are there, dirt will be there, and it will be stuck in that hairs. And when they are removed, that time it is required to wash it properly, thoroughly wash it properly, and we have to remove the dirt and dust particles, and this process is called as a scouring process. And here in a local language we can say that it is just washing process. Here step 1 shearing like a cutting process, step 2 scouring like a washing process, step 3 after scouring sorting is done. After scouring sorting is done. The hair skin is sent to a factory where the hair of different textures are separated and sorted. Now after scouring, these hairs are sent to the factory. There different types of hairs will be separated and will be sorted. Sorting process, third one. Now next, fourth one, the small fluffy fibers called burrs are picked out from the hair, and these are the same burrs which sometimes appears on your sweater. The fibers are scoured again and dried, and this is the wool ready to draw into the fibers. Now the small fluffy fibers called burrs एक जे छोटे छोटे गोळे येतात आपल्या स्वेटर्सवरती, आपण किती भरपूर दिवस जर स्वेटर वापरत असेल का काही दिवसानंतर त्याच्यावरती छोटे छोटे गोळे येतात, ते फ्लफी फायबर्स, दे इट इज कॉल्ड एज अ बर्स. अँड these burrs are picked out from the hair, and these are the same burrs which are appear on our sweater. The fibers are scoured again, the fibers are washed again and dried, and this is the wool ready to drawn into the fibers. Now step fourth, the fibers can be dyed in various colors, as the natural fleece of sheep of goats is black, brown and white. Now we are aware about that goat and sheep, they are having color black, brown and white. These three colors only are found in the goats. But when we buy sweater, that time we saw that there variety of colors of the sweaters will be there, like red, orange, green, yellow. Different variety of colors of sweaters are available there. How it will be possible? Because from the sheep and goats we are getting only black, blue, brown and white first. When all the step 4 up to step 4, when it is finished, at that time it will be dyed in a different colors, because for a different variety of the things they are preparing from that, like sweaters, shawls, different color, in different color they are preparing. For that purpose they are dyed these fibers into the colors. Now step 6, the fibers are straightened, combed and rolled into yarn. Now these fibers are straight, combed and rolled into yarn, धाग्यामध्ये तयार केले जातात. The longer fibers are made into wool for sweaters. These longer fibers are used for sweaters, and the shorter fibers are used for woolen cloth. Now here diagrams are mentioned there. 3.8, first diagram, shearing a sheep, cutting process was mentioned there. Then scouring in tanks, you see the pictures. Then third one, scouring by machines, and fourth one, rolling into yarn. These all process are mentioned here by the picture. Now in exam maybe question will be asked, write the different steps of processing fibers into wool. Write 5 steps or 6 steps of processing fibers into wool. You have to write all the steps, at least 3-4 lines in all steps are required. Now here you keep in your mind in a simple one sentence, and you have to explain it by yourself. Now step 1, what? Shearing process. What is the meaning of that? In a simple word, cutting process. You have to explain it. Afterwards, step 2, scouring process, washing process will be there. Then sorting process. Then fourth one, removed small fluffy fibers or burrs. Fifth one, dyed in various colors. And sixth one, fibers straightened and will be used longer fibers for sweaters and shorter fibers for woolen cloths. In this way you have to explain, you keep in your mind, and afterwards you explain in the exam. Now the next one, occupational hazard. Now what is the meaning here? Occupation like व्यवसाय, and hazard धोका. व्यवसायातील धोका, ह्या व्यवसायामध्ये काय धोका आहे? Wool industry is an important means of livelihood for many people in our country. This wool industry is an important means of a livelihood for many people in our country. But sorter's job is risky. Risky, sometimes they get infected by the bacterium, and anthrax, which cause the fatal blood disease, called salter disease. Now what will be happen in the anthrax disease? Anthrax spores are present in the air, and these spores, when enter in the body, that time they get activated and themselves and it will be cause sh sh shortness in a breathing, then shortness in the breathing, chest pain. In this way it is harmful for that particular person. Such a risk faced by the workers in any industry are called occupational hazard. It is a hazard, and it is an occupational hazard. Now here one question is that Bojo is wondering why it hurts when someone pull his hair, but not when he goes for a haircut. What happens when our hairs are prepared by the made by the dead cells, and when barber cut the hairs, that time it will be removed out. But when the hairs will be pulled by anyone, that time what will be happen? Our hairs are attached with the skin, which is present on the upper side of the head, and when anybody pulls the hair, that time the skin get hurts, and that's why we feel the pain. Now Bojo, another one question is there. Bojo wondering why cotton garment cannot keep us warm in the winter as woolen sweater does. Now, in a cotton garment, there is the space is not there to trap the heat, but in a woolen cloth, they prepare the barrier, and that time they trap the heat, and they give the warmness to our body. Here one activity was mentioned: debate amongst your classmates whether it is fair on the part of humans to rear sheep and then chop up their hairs to getting wool. One debate that they are mentioned. We have to arrange one debate with students, and there the point is, it is fair the part of humans to rear sheep and then chop up their hairs for getting wool. We will arrange this when school is started. Up to this we covered, and remaining part we will see in the next period.